All right, grown-ups, it's just our time. I love the babies, but to help you, I gotta speak my mind. This segment's here to help you grow with book reviews, lessons, and things you'll be glad to know. If your little one's restless or looking to play, send them to my other playlist. The read-alouds there will brighten their day. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Teacher Lady Show. I'm Miss Erica, the Teacher Lady, your fairy godparent when it comes to sharing joyful stories and growing young minds. Now, every single week we have a new topic on the show, and this week's topic is all about body image and self-acceptance. How do you raise a child that celebrates body positivity and grows to love who they are, blemishes and curves included? And of course, we're using books to be able to do so. Now, today's Behind the Book review, we're going to be going over the glows, what made this book beautiful, the grows, what I think could have been done differently, who this book is for, how to utilize it as a resource to have a more robust conversation with your little, and more. All on this episode of Behind the Book, where we go beyond the pages to get to the heart of the story. Today's book to be reviewed is A Kid's Book About Body Image by Rebecca Alexander. If you have not done so, be sure to go check out the Read Aloud first, and then come right back here for this Behind the Book review. You ready? Let's grow. Summary in my own words. A kid's book about body image is a message to children about their body. It really is this reminder that our bodies are excellent as they are, that there's nothing that has to be fixed because we're not broken, and that we have to love everything about ourselves, even the things we don't fully understand. Rebecca takes a very vulnerable approach by calling herself fat and white and talking about some of the aspects of clothing that she wears in a way to say, this is who I am. I am good with that. And I hope that you grow to be good with who you are for yourself. So it's almost this, I don't know, poetic way of saying I am who I am. And I love that for me. And in doing so, she also encourages you to be able to do the same. Take home message and target age group. So the take home message is really one of loving yourself. It really does come down to body image and being okay with the things about you that might currently give you the ick, or that might give the people around you the ick. I really appreciate some of the messaging around the beauty industry or the surgery industry or the weight loss industry and all of these industries that literally try to create the problem so that they can sell you the solution. I love that call out. There are so many layers to this book, but overall, she's saying, hey, you're good as you are. Love yourself. Find things to love about you. And if you can't figure it out for yourself, go ask somebody who knows you, because they'll be able to tell you what you should love about yourself or what they love about you. In terms of age group, I would start at 5. I would go 5 years old and up. This is a book adults need to read as well. I don't have a stopping age. I just have a starting age. So I would say at 5 years old, you can start utilizing this book as a resource to really have your child love themselves, grow into body acceptance, and all of the things in between. Who this book is for. Not to be too repetitive, but it truly is a book for everybody. And I say that because everybody has a body. And if you live in the United States of America, you are going to have to combat a lot of images and messages that tell you not to love yourself as is. It's almost like embedded everywhere we look. A movie, a social media, a website, a book. So many places we look, you will be reminded that you are not enough, that you're not complete, that something is broken, that something is wrong, that you need to make more money so that you can buy more stuff, and that list continues. And even as an adult, this book really moved me emotionally because I could have used a reminder that I'm okay. I feel like we're constantly on this treadmill trying to chase the next dream, trying to fix the next thing, that we don't just breathe. Like, breathe in and breathe out and recognize that we are so beautiful. We are so generous. We're so adventurous. We're so gracious. We're so kind. We're so fill in the blank with all of these positive things. And you don't want to be overly critical about yourself, and you don't want your children to be overly critical about themselves. So everybody could utilize this book. Glows in what I think was done well. The first glow I have is that Rebecca was extremely vulnerable. Like, I have yet to read a book, a children's book at that, that's like, I'm fat and I'm white and I dress cute, right? And people only notice that I'm fat, and I wish that they notice that I smile, and I wish that they notice that I'm walking my dog and all of these other elements. There is so much vulnerability in the book. And why that's important is that if you want to get vulnerability out of a person, your best resource is to start. The more vulnerable you are, the more vulnerable they will become. So as she's sharing these things in the story, I'm thinking about, what are my versions of that? Like, okay, she's white, I'm black, or, she's fat, I go by chubby. Like, what are those things for me? And it helps me to reflect in my own vulnerabilities. How did I come to the conclusion that something wasn't good enough, or that something needs to be changed? Is it that I like my nails because I love my nails and it's a way of self-expression? Or is there an embarrassment there when my nails are not manicured the way that they should be? And so she really did cause me as an adult to reflect on the questions and the things that she's saying in a way that I've never done. I'll be very honest with that. For me to have that reaction at my big age, no size intended, but at my age, really does show the power of the book. So one of the glows is the vulnerability. Another glow that I have for the book is that she really does use kid-friendly language to explain a layered topic, a topic that's very hard for educators and for parents to talk about, which is body image. What bodies are good and what bodies are bad, and how did we come to believe that? And I feel like she took such a hard topic and she put it in this way that allows young children to get it and to start to understand, because we can't combat what we don't understand. So until we understand that there are corporations that are trying to have our self-esteem be as low as possible so that they can make money, we can't combat that. And so I feel like the language and the word choice was really spot on. And then my last glow would have to be the intro and the outro of the book. So in the beginning of the book, she's talking to parents. In the very beginning of the book, there's a page. The first page says, "Better Together. This book is best read together, grown up and kid," which I really appreciate, because it's a kid's book. So without that, most people would just hand it off to their child. And then I really appreciated the intro. The intro says, "You are probably drawn to this book because you have a kid in your life, period. Not one single person is exempt from body image struggles, and yet we rarely talk about these feelings with others. We feel alone in our insecurities. We feel like what's wrong with us is our fault. We feel ashamed. When we feel this way, very serious problems can arise. Eating disorders, exercise disorders, other forms of self-harm. I hope this book will help you share the feelings you have about your body. I hope you'll talk about them. I hope you'll encourage your kids to do the same." I love that intro. I love that she talks to the parents before she talks to the kids. I love that she gives a heads up that you're probably going to feel uncomfortable. I just really appreciate that element of the book. Grows. I am aware of the publishing. I am aware of this line of books. I want pictures. I am a picture person. I feel like pictures help children to understand difficult concepts. And this is a difficult concept. And so to be able to see the soccer player sweating that she's talking about helps, especially neurodivergent children, English language learners, so on and so forth. Being able to see her as this really tall, self-proclaimed fat white lady really helps. And so I am missing the visual of the book. Now, with that said, I understand that this line, which is a kid's book about, all of them do not have images. That is this way to just explain and straight out write, and I get that. But when you have 5-year-old children, pictures make a difference. So, my opinion overall, they're not needed. It's just something that I would love, and I appreciate the text exactly how it is. My last grow is that I wish the book would have acknowledged the difference between body acceptance and body positivity and loving yourself and addressing any health problems that might need to be addressed. I'm not one that believes you can look at a person and just assume their health conditions, but I do think that there is this very thin line between I am who I am, even if it's not the best, even if it's not in the realm of self-care. I mean, if you're not a person who likes the feeling of water, you still have to shower. And if you don't shower, all of these other things will happen. And so how do you teach body positivity and self-acceptance and self-love while acknowledging that there are things that you have to do to make sure that your body is as healthy as it can possibly be? I don't have the answer, Sway, just something that I would have loved to be addressed or looked at in the context of this book, okay? Let's keep going. Discussion points to have with your child. The first is, what are the things that you do love about your body? Like, starting at that question will have your child instantly show you how they feel about themselves. If they're struggling to find anything positive about their body just as it is, not when they lose weight or not when they have this, but just as is, then we have to do a lot of restorative work with that baby. Okay. Now, when you're going into this discussion about what they love about their body, if they do not have things that they love, you're going to share things that you love about your body, and then you're going to share things that you love about their body. And it can be as simple as your legs move really well. You know, grandma's legs are different now because grandma's in a wheelchair. But look at you. You're able to run back and get grandma's stuff for her, and your arms are so strong. They're able to pick things up, and you're able to use your hands to help. So you can use the technical ways in which that child's body works, and then you can go into the things that you do see as beautiful. I think your dark skin is so rich. It has so much history to it. It's so pretty. Your hair, your teeth, whatever it is. I tried to get braces at least twice, and every time this gap came right back. Like, retainer aside, it came right back. It took me a while. I want to say I had braces 3 times. I know at least twice, but however, it took me a minute to recognize, baby, you're supposed to have a gap in your teeth. My teeth are straight, but they have a gap, and that gap is not budging. And my father's side had gaps. And that is a part of who I am. And it took a while to understand that. So by having these discussions with your child about what you love about them and about what they love about themselves, it helps a lot. You can also have a discussion around the things that they don't like about themselves. Are they things that actually need to be changed? Or are they things that are different from what is considered to be normal by the masses, which is constantly changing? You can even even pull this book to have a discussion around the history of what is popular today versus what wasn't. There are so many things that we used to label as ghettos that are now high fashion, right? There are so many things, so many surgeries that are getting done to look like the things that we once made fun of. It's changing. And so to explain to your child that actually you don't need to change this part about yourself or that part of yourself, those organs work just as they're supposed to, and they look just like they're supposed to, is really special. Really, really special. And then lastly, I would have a discussion, kind of like Rebecca had with us through the book. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable about the ways in which you had to get over the things that you struggle with around your body, around things that you said to your body, around not accepting and loving your body. Because it's one thing to accept and it's another thing to love. Acceptance is, okay, this is how I look. It is what it is. To love is like, baby, this is how I look. It is what it is. Hey, now there is a joy to that. And that every single day might not be like that. There are hormonal changes. There are so many things going on in the world. But overall, you want to figure out how to love yourself. And it is truly a marathon, not a race. Okay? Final thoughts. Wow. This book is one that definitely got me emotionally. It got me thinking. It got me pondering and writing and reflecting on how I can love myself even more. It brought up conversations with my child, just like I hope you have with yours. Overall, it is a topic that I encourage you to continue to explore with your students and with your child so that we can raise children who are confident in who they are and who love themselves. Okay. So thank you to Rebecca for making this book and for giving it to us as a resource. If you have not done so, be sure to check out the Read Aloud. Be sure to check out the books that I am the author and the illustrator of, as well as our Pay It Forward program, the Empathy Library, that allows us to get books like this one to children in need free of charge to them. Until next time, remember to enjoy the moment or go be a joy in the moment. Bye.